Oh, hi.
You like the thumbnail? Thanks, I made it this morning. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Has people running about, by the way. It's a real Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. I'm eating a protein cookie as well. It's a real Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, I hear myself. Okay. So You love the title? Thank you. I made it myself. The negative palette because of Hyperlumios. Yeah, yeah. So I can be funny when I want to be. Running around at the speed of round. A long time ago, me and my dad aunts fell off. Aunts fell off. I assume you think that you're gonna get under my skin with a comment like that, because you're implying that not only am I old, but also that, I'm no longer popular. Your fatal flaw would be, assuming that I didn't already know that I'm no longer popular. That would be your first mistake. Your second mistake would be assuming that I'm old. And your third mistake would be implying that people who are older are somehow worse off. You thought I was looking for a shiny Sork? Nah, they're just homophobic. Playing, you don't need to apologize for that. Honestly, I would have let them stay. For a little bit, I had some bans. Yeah, someone's saying I fell off as if that's gonna affect me. I already knew that I fell off. Can't get me with that one. You have to try harder than that. Plain, I've found your New Year's resolution. It's to apologize less for things that you don't need to apologize for. Because whenever you do that, you're lowering your own self-worth. Because you're saying that you made a mistake that you didn't. So Shiny Hawlucha is already cool, but can you imagine if the Shiny Hawlucha was, instead of the red, it was blue? Feels rude if you don't. Well, that's something to work on then. It's not rude. Because you didn't do anything that requires an apology. Now they're commenting on my other videos, saying that, oh, dude timed me out before I could say I said that Aunt fell off only because there were 5 people. I mean, I would have let them stay for the bans, but it shows what we're working with, I guess. Change or like retcon any shinies, like what would you do? Like what direction would you take them? Guess who's back? Back again. Can stream mods remove comments from the videos? You don't have to. You can't, but I responded, it's fine. Typically, like I'll let mods know, like if they, you know, if I'd like something done. I appreciate you though. Last time I checked, this was FNF. Now Bros doing streams the Big League Hit Cupcakes of the tactical variety. And first of all, not bro. Second of all, I've been streaming for like several years. Yeah. And my last video I uploaded was literally an FNF video. But I've still been uploading FNF videos, I've just also been streaming. Novel concept. Thumbnail caught you off guard? I'm proud of it, I made it this morning. Over my breakfast cereal. I had koala crisp. I'm not gonna lie, I drowned in your notifications on YouTube. You forgot I existed. It's okay, most people do. No, Asa, it's like that meme of, like, you know, saying, like, oh, hey guys, and then it's like, oh, they say, like, something that sounds like it, and it's like, not what I'm called. You never forgot? I know, that's why I said most. I didn't say everyone, I said most. I appreciate you playing. Lesbian running about for an hour or so for shiny deer, isn't that the plot of Bambi? I've never actually seen the movie Bambi. I know of it, and I know that it's supposed to be quite sad, but like I've never seen it. Did I manage to get shiny Latias? I did. Uh-oh. Yeah, the last one was like, Latias, like, hey guys, because they Latinas, and then Shadow's like, where? Also, if you missed it, the Yu-Gi-Oh card here is, people running about. Awesome. Yeah, no, it was very cool. I like noticed it immediately when it happened. And it was fun hearing the encounter music again, because like in all of Scarviolet, most of the encounter music is just the same. Like, they're just the same as, the regular area music, but just, like, slightly up-tempo. I should play Minecraft with Pokemon mods? Nah, I'm good. I did play Pixelmon a long time ago. I was on a server, it had Gen 5 mechanics. It didn't have every Pokemon in it though. But I was the server's normal type gym leader. Music is not from the game. If it was from the game, it would be less cool. Yeah, so I had Snorlax, Porygon 2, and Porygon Z, Clefable, Togekiss, and Staraptor, I think. What big movies did they have between the 40s and the 90s? When was Pinocchio? Not, they didn't have Fairy yet, it was Gen 5. I had Togekiss and Clefable though because they became Fairy. Yeah, it was Gen 5. Gen 6 was out at the time, but the Pixelmon only had up to Gen 5. Togekiss is busted. It's good, but it's not broken. It's good though. When was Dumbo? The scene where the kid, like, turns into a donkey in Pinocchio really fucked me up, though. I hated that. I've talked about, like, how I hate, like, forced transformations. And... Like, unwanted transformations, I should say. And watching that, you're kind of left with, like, wondering if they still have sentience after the transformation, right? Like, you're left wondering if they still have sentience, and that fucked me up. There was also a movie, I think it was The Mummy, where they showed, like, a guy being mummified, like, a live guy being mummified as, like, a punishment. And I'll never forget that scene because that fucked me up. Like, they show him, like, you know, getting... They don't show it, but they show the lead up to him, like, getting his tongue cut off and then wrapping him up. And you see him in the sarcophagus, like, shaking around, right? He's going like, boom, boom, boom. And then they dump, like, a pot full of scarabs on top of him. Like, eat him. And you can hear him go like, and then they close the sarcophagus on him. That terrified me. That still fucks me up. That is something that they used to do to criminals, though, back in the day. Like, back in Egyptian times. Because mummification was, like, something that tended to be saved for, like, the elites. Like, the rich. But as a death penalty, they would mummify someone alive. And they would, like, dump scarabs all over them, because the scarabs would eat them. I believe there were, like, some instances of, like, monks who would mummify themselves, though. The tanning bed scene from Final Destination? I haven't seen that. You guys haven't seen The Island? It's got Ewan McGregor in it. Like, he was in Moulin Rouge, and he was also Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars prequels. Predictions for Gen 10 and what Pokemon I'm hoping to return. I mean, like, I'd hope that they'd all return. Like, they should never have left in the first place. 2 women get trapped in tanning beds and cooked alive. Uh-oh. I mean, at the very least, I'd hope that you'd be able to get Ribombi. Like, that's my favorite Pokemon. You hope they reverse Dexter? I mean, I hope so too, but I don't think it's gonna happen just because, they can sell, like, quote-unquote, returning the Pokemon. Right? Like, in this, like, oh, the Hoenn starters are back, or in, like, you know, the what's it? The Blueberry Academy, like, the Indigo Disc. Like, oh, the starters are back. Like, they're not back. They should never have left. Like, you know, you shouldn't get excited for Pokemon coming back. They never should have left in the first place. Can you imagine, like, getting excited for, like, a Pokemon coming back? That'd be ridiculous. Oh my god, Virizion! I love Virizion! Next Pokemon game is Black and White remake. Oh, they already did that. Indigo Disc is set in Unova. You've seen Gen 10 leaks? Yeah, don't share, please. Thank you. Okay, answer me this though, Smiggle. Are they planning on revealing Gen 10 in 2026? So I've been seeing a conspiracy theory about so I don't know if this is a Mandela effect, but I could have sworn when they first revealed the Mega Dimension DLC on release DLC that they said it was going to come out in February. But then they moved it up to December, right? The conspiracy theory was they moved the DLC up so that for the 30th anniversary, which is next year, in February is Pokemon Day, they could announce Gen 10. I have no proof of it. I believe Pokemon Champions is supposed to come out like early next year. It's either January or February. I think it's January. I don't know the moment. You're hoping for a new Pokemon Rumble game? I wouldn't hold my breath. As someone who really likes Pokemon Rumble, I wouldn't hold my breath. I think it's very unlikely. The last we saw of Rumble was a mobile game that they got rid of halfway through. Any plans for Valentine's Day? That's 2 months away, but no, I'm perpetually single, so probably not. I mean, if we get a Pokemon Presents, it's probably just gonna be like a bunch of mobile slop, and then take a look at this at the end, and it will just be like barely a teaser for Gen 10, I imagine. It could still happen. I mean, it could still happen, but it's like, it's the same it could still happen as in, Banjo-Tooie gets a Switch re-release. It could happen. It's probably as likely as, me becoming big enough on YouTube to quit my day job. You thought I had a girlfriend? Who? I have had girlfriends before, yeah. I just don't have a girlfriend right now. I mean, I meant like, Smiggle, I meant like a remake, like Banjo Redooey or something. You thought I was dating someone in my location? I got stood up by someone, this weekend. So I was supposed to go on a date with someone, but I got stood up. They'd remake Kazooie long before Tooie. What I think would be cool is if they remade both, but they made it so that they led into each other, like, organically. Because Tooie takes place immediately after, well, like, a few years after the first game, but it actually notably averts, like, the trait of the bag of spilling trope. A lot of games implement a trope called the bag of spilling, where, like, you have, like, if you learn a bunch of moves or, like, get some items, you have to, like, recollect them in the next game. Like, an example would be, like, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, right? Like, in Majora's Mask, you have to get the bomb bag again, and the bow again, and the lens of truth, and hookshot, and all that. Whereas in 2E, you start already having all of the moves that you learnt in the first game. Technically, you could start with less honeycombs than you did, but you can justify that by saying, like, oh, they just didn't have the honeycombs. They didn't collect the extra honeycombs. It's totally possible to go the entire game without collecting the extra honeycombs and getting the extra health, so... There was someone who independently was trying to make a remake of Grunty's Revenge, but they stopped doing it, which is a shame. Spyro the Dragon also notably averts it. Like, in Spyro 3, you start the game with all of the abilities that Moneybags teaches you in Spyro 2. That's another notable aversion. In Grunty's Revenge, you do have to relearn your abilities, but it's justified in the sense that it takes place between the first game and the second game. And the time travel, because you do time travel in that game, and like the time travel wibbly-woobly stuff messes with, like, makes you like forget all your memories and stuff, or like makes you forget all your moves. Am I sure it's getting re-rolled properly? Yes. So... this manhole cover here is within 50 paces of Virizion. Occasionally you may hear Virizion's cry through there. And past this tree here, it despawns it. It's out of range, so it despawns. So what I'm doing is respawning it and despawning it, like that. How far can you get in Banjo 2 with only the moves you start with in Kazooie? Not very far. The any percent speedrun requires grenade eggs, I believe. Which you would learn organic, like you don't have, they're just out in the open, so I don't know if that's how you would define that. But, yeah, so what you would need to do is, actually no, yeah, I don't think it's possible, because you do need grip grab, you need grenades, you need clockworks, you need fire eggs, interestingly, you don't actually need to learn Breagle Blaster, which is gun mode. It just sets a flag, because in the boss fight, it automatically puts you in gun mode when you need to be. Learning the move just sets a flag that lets you go into the areas where you would need to use it. So you need grenade eggs to trigger a cutscene storage that warps you to the final boss. You need fire eggs to get into Witchy World, which is where you would need to do the cutscene storage. You need grip grab to get a Jinjo. which is required to get a Jiggy early. Because you need 14 Jiggies to get into Witchy World. And you need Clockworks to defeat Grunty. The only ability you require to beat Grunty is Clockworks. Like, you can beat her entirely with blue eggs. But you do need Clockworks because there's a phase where you need to, well, I guess if you're a true TC fan, you would have seen it when I played it. No. There's a phase where the digger, like, it powers down the exhaust. And during that phase, you need to shoot a Clockwork Kazooie, have it go into the exhaust pipe to blow up the digger's batteries twice. So you need at least 2 Clockwork eggs. So you do require Clockworks for that segment, but otherwise you can completely beat it with regular blue eggs. You need fire eggs to get into Witchy World though, and you need grenades. Oh, you also need the Amazing Gaze goggles from Bottles' son to unload and then reload a grenade egg to do a cutscene storage. It's been a while since I've seen the any %. But yeah, the way the any % works is like you have to have a file that you've already beaten, and you need to set up your files so that the first Jinjos you find are the single white Jinjo and the 2 orange ones. You want to find the white Jinjo first because it skips a cutscene. When you find a Jinjo for the first time, he flies home and you get a cutscene saying like, "Oh, help me find the other Jinjos." And then when you complete a Jinjo family, you get a second cutscene where it's like, "Oh, you saved us all, let me give you a Jiggy." So you get a Jiggy, the family heirloom, right? Since the white Jinjo is the only one in its family, if that's the one you find first, you skip the first cutscene where he says like, "Help me find the rest of them," and you immediately just get the second one saying like, "Oh, here's the Jiggy." So then you want to get the 2 orange ones because there's only 2 orange Jinjos, so then they give you another Jiggy immediately. Jinjo placement is static, however, the color of each Jinjo is randomized through each playthrough. So where the Jinjos are located are static, but what color Jinjos you find are randomized with each playthrough. So the way that they do it is they start a file, and before like anything happens, they immediately leave, then copy and paste it to like file 3. Then they play through file 2 until they're sure that those 3 Jinjos show up, so that they can start immediately from file 3 where, like, you know, nothing has happened, and they can, you know, they know where that those Jinjos are there. So that's the setup that you need for the any % run. Because, like, if you make the file then, like, quit immediately, then you don't advance past, like, you know, the initial cutscene. There is a cutscene skip to avoid the cutscene where, like, it pans over the destroyed Spiral Mountain. The first Congo fight is mandatory. Then you need to collect just enough notes so that you can get the 3 egg types you need. Then you need to get the, first-person egg aiming, because you need that for the cutscene skip, or the cutscene storage. You get to that point, but you reset it before a cutscene. Like, the reason that you need the zoom in and out, or the Amazing Gaze goggles, they let you zoom in and out, So you can shoot it, but you can preserve where the cutscene would be played for when you go there next. You go to the replay menu, which it lets you replay stuff. So like you need one file that you have beaten already. So you replay the grunty fight, but instead of doing the actual fight, you just quit out. You then go back to where you stored the cutscene for that first file in Witchy World, and it will load the next. It will teleport you to the location of the last cutscene that played, which in this case would be the grunty boss fight. So it warps you to the grunty fight. And Regal Blaster is used in that fight, but again, you already have it unlocked at the start. Learning it from Jam Jars just sets a flag that lets you go into the areas where you would need it. So like you start with it already, because it's required for the final boss fight. I believe there is dialogue, like if you somehow make it to that point without Regal Blaster, I believe it's possible, because you only need 70 jiggies to get to Grunty. I believe it's possible to get there without having Regal Blaster learned. And I believe there is dialogue there. I haven't verified that though, and I'm really curious if that's true. Shall we do another playthrough? Except this time we just don't collect Regal Blaster. I don't know if someone can look it up for me, like if there's dialogue for that happening, like getting to Grunty without Regal Blaster. I have to leave soon. I can look it up quickly. Okay, so apparently there is dialogue where she tells you to go learn it. I would like to see the exact dialogue she uses, though. She tells you to go back and get it, but I'm really curious to see what she says. Like, exactly. Okay, so she says fighting you... She says something similar. So I looked it up, and someone from 2006 says that she says something like, "Fighting you would be no fun. Go back to Mayhem Temple and complete your training." It's not a screenshot though, so I'm really curious what she says. Look at like the Banjo-Tooie script. Oh, this year, like in November, Greg Mails has like, he posted a printout of all of the dialogue from the entire game. A lot of it was just made up on the fly. This year went by really fast. It went by super slowly. But it always feels like it went by really fast at the end. You're fine, Doomy. I'm probably gonna end stream in about 10 minutes or so because I have to go to work, but I appreciate you popping in. But yeah, like, can you imagine if Holy Just Shiny wasn't instead of the red, it was blue? Another reason why I really like Banjo-Tooie, it passes the Bechdel test. If you're curious, the Bechdel test is like a measure of feminism in a work. The test is like, it has to feature two female-identified characters who have a conversation with, they have names, they have a conversation with each other about a subject other than a man. It's the only criteria. You'd be surprised how many works of fiction don't pass that simple test. Is Banjo not in the conversation? No, there's a few sections where it passes, because like Kazooie has a lot of solo dialogue, but the first instance, I believe, is Gruntilda's sisters. They are both named, and they talk about reviving Gruntilda. Yeah, in 2E she can go out on her own, but yeah, no, the instance I was referring, the instance I had in mind was, her talking to, Gruntilda's sisters talking to each other about reviving Gruntilda. This game does as well. Because there's conversations involving Jacinthe and Laban. You're realizing how few women are in video games you play? That was that victory bell behind me. I already have a shiny victory bell, it's fine. Down. Yeah, it's like when you put that in there, it really makes you cognizant of how few like women are in video games, or at least like, you know, in, I believe Splatoon, both Splatoons do as well. Because, like, of the idol groups. Well, except for Splatoon 3, because Splatoon 3 has Big Man, but I imagine Splatoon 3 still does, because in the story mode you have Callie and Marie there. If you include the comics, TF2 might. Because Miss Pauling and the administrator talk about Australia. So if you count the comics, I think TF2 might actually pass the test, despite having a playable cast of 9 men. Purely from a gameplay perspective, then yeah, no, it's impossible, because the only playable characters are men. One of the idols is non-binary. Is that proven? I know that it's heavily implied that Shiva is non-binary. I believe that in the DLC, the DJ is non-binary. I believe that's true. I believe that Shiva is heavily implied to be non-binary. But I think in-game they are referred to with female pronouns. It's been a very long time since I've played it though, so I don't know if that's true or not. Would be cool if it is though.
Scarlet and Violet do, because in the Indigo Disc, Geeta and Rika talk about Area Zero with what's her name, Briar. Obviously, if you play as a female character, then there's a lot more instances, like with like the history teacher talking about the Aruna's quartet and stuff like that. Or talking with Penny about Team Star. But whether or not you count as a named character is up for debate. You held off looking at the end of story mode since you wanted to watch it from the stream? Okay, well, I mean, you can look at that if you want to. Yeah. I don't know why you're apologizing. Didn't mean to seem rude. Okay, well, it's okay. I didn't take it as that. I would have told you if I did. What? I can probably do one more donut reset after this route. Then I should probably go to work. Beep, beep, beep. Whoa. You won't be back? Alright, well, you have a good rest of your day then, Lizzie. Come on, my baby. Oh, Blue Man Group. I have a signed drum head from them. It's right in front of me on the wall. It's a drum head from one of their shows. Like, there was like one of the guys there, we had like a meet and greet kind of thing with one of the people there. He doesn't say anything. I like hand it to him and he does like a face print on it. I'll like put like tape over it so that like it wouldn't like spread about in my bag. Where's Verizian supposed to be? In relation to actual Lumios, it's right next to the Justice Dojo. I'll read that after this. Because that's the Justice Dojo right there. And Verizian's like right next to it. So relative to actual Lumios, it's right next to the Justice Dojo, which I guess they're the Swords of Justice. Don't know why she's not in the Justice Dojo, but... It's the only one of the 5 non-shiny lock legendaries that you can't see it despawn and respawn. Why is Gotcha where that needs to be verified? I guess maybe it's similar to Gacha? Are they real versions or dream versions? I mean, there's a Hooper. There are some legendaries where there are canonically multiple. See, this is why I liked it what they did with ORAS with the Hooper Rings, or more so what I liked with the Ultra Wormholes, because the Ultra Wormholes were confirmed to each be unique parallel universes. So it made sense that you could find different, like you could find the past legendaries there, because it was an entirely unique universe where they happened to be there, right? If these were dream versions, it would be neat. It would be a neat touch if they gave them dream world abilities, if they came from here. Like their hidden abilities, because in Gen 5 they were the dream world abilities, but I guess none of these had dream world abilities anyway. If you could give, like, legendaries that just had pressure, or like the mythical Pokemon, if you could give them hidden abilities, or dream world abilities, or different abilities, what abilities would you give them? I'd give Mewtwo Berserk. Which you could argue is broken, but it's Mewtwo, right? Maybe it should be a little broken. It would be thematically fitting as well, because in Gen 2, there's an item called the Berserk Gene, where upon entry it's consumed, it gives you +2 attack, but it also confuses you indefinitely. I give regular Mew Protean because it's supposed to have like the genes of every Pokemon, right? Very angry pair of trousers. Oh, I should probably go to work, shouldn't I? Damn. I'll be back later. I gotta go work. But have a good rest of your day. And I'll